Go to butcherbox.com/weighing in and you will get 2 pounds of ground meat for life with your membership and $10 off on your first box. It all comes down to this simple term. If you're his training partner, shut up. You don't put that information out. Don't put any information out. That's not your place. If Jon Jones wants to put out, hey, I'm going to do 3 fights and I'm done, then Jon Jones can do it. That's his, it's his career, and he can say those things. But a training partner, just talking about how good he is or anything like that, that's great. Don't talk about, oh, he's already told me he's only got 3 fights left. The promoter doesn't want to know that. Yeah. Well, excuse me. The promoter does want to know that, but doesn't want to hear that, and then doesn't want to put anything behind putting that person into these positions where, oh, he's going to be my champion, he's going to walk away. I just look at it and it's like, look, if Jon Jones wants to retire in 3 fights, great, do it. But training partners, you don't be saying anything about what that guy is going to be doing or what he said to you. That's, again, what happens in the gym stays in the gym. It's the same thing with the conversations. That all stays between you two.
We don't talk about Bruno. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm sure Dave does. He's got 2 young kids.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno. Anyways.
I know this song inside out.
Yes, I'm sure you do, buddy. I think I agree with John. When it comes to, look, I talk about stuff from the AKA days, but those are old times. Times have already passed. Yeah. But in this situation, like, he's still active. He still needs to make money. And Dana might be like, okay, well, sure, I'll give him a title shot, but then I got to try to find someone to beat him as soon as possible because he's going to retire in 3 fights. You know, promoters schedule their way around how they're going to promote that fighter if they're going to be champion for a long period, you know? I'm a little, look, I know we're talking about Jon Jones. The way that I look at it, though, John, he's been away for 3 years.
Close.
He's been away longer than Henry Cejudo has been away.
That's right.
And so when you're talking about that, like, I know that he's coming back and he's probably the most talented fighter we've ever seen step foot in that cage in terms of skill level and, you know, just ability. His mindset is fucking phenomenal. All of those things. Will we get the same Jon Jones? That amount of rust, that amount of time off, can he just turn it on against top level competition? Can he do it after 3 years off? That's hard to get. And then not only that, you're not doing it against people that are your size anymore. You're doing it against guys that hit harder, guys that can push you around maybe, guys that can bully you around a little bit that are just as big. Ngannou was a big guy. Now, I know he's not fighting him for a while, but Stipe is not a small fry either.
No.
You know, so it's like I'm looking at the guys in the heavyweight division. You know, Cyril Gane, he's a huge guy. Tom Aspinall, he's athletic. And so Cyril, both of those guys, they're big and they're athletic. These guys are fast, big, and athletic. Jones, he's going to have his hands full when he gets to that heavyweight division with those top 3-4 fighters.
I agree. If you go to his career as a light heavyweight, it's always been the guys that were close to his size, that were longer, that were taller, that gave him the most trouble.
Yeah.
Reyes,
you have Reyes, and then you've got and
Gustafsson. Yeah. I mean, they were the ones that you just look at Jon having issues in the fight. Those were the guys that did it. So all the guys that he's going to be fighting, you know, in the heavyweight division are going to be of that length, that size. So it can cause him a problem. But like you said, let's be honest. There is ring rust. We call it cage corrosion when you haven't been in the cage for a while.
John just made that shit up.
But it's cage corrosion. It's a beautiful term. But it's a matter of he still is one of the most talented guys I've ever seen in there. And although people can say what they want about what he does on the outside and everything, inside of that cage, his fight IQ is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. He can change. He can do things. He alters. You watch him set things up. You see how he can compute what's going on and where a guy is making a mistake that he can take advantage of. He's just remarkably good. Just remarkably good. Remarkably smart inside that cage. And, I just look at it. He's a handful for anyone, but if you're a training partner, keep it between you and John if he told you something.
Yeah.
And I can say, like, I'm going to say this. Look, I got in trouble with, I didn't get in trouble with Lorenzo. Lorenzo Fertitta used to talk to me a lot, and he would tell me things. And on a podcast, I said something that he had told me about Conor McGregor, and that he was having a hard time signing him. And it was for this much money, and I put it out, and I shouldn't have done it. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
That was between, Lorenzo told me that. I should never have said it. It was, I'm giving out information like, oh, well, you guys need to know this. No, you don't need to know it. I made that mistake, and if it's Jorgen saying that, Jorgen's making a mistake by saying it. He just needs to keep it between the two. There's
been a lot of, I don't want to say friendships broken up. I mean, you go back in history, look at Josh Koscheck and Javier Mendez, man. Never once, I don't think they ever spoke to each other ever again after that whole.
That was a horrible relationship.
That fucking thing it busted up. Dave Camarillo left the gym, and then right after Dave left the gym, that whole thing happened. It was already a rift because Dave left, and Koss was like, "Why did he leave? We should pay him more. We should do that." Like it was a battle back and forth of what's going on, and that just was like overflowed,
and it just got worse and worse.
They've never talked to this day ever. They've never talked to this day. They never will. Yeah, they never will. But Josh Koscheck just had a baby boy, man.
Hey, good for him,
man. Happy for him. Happy for him. So, yep. People give him, man. He's a good guy. He lived with me for years, and he was rough around the edges a little bit. But when it came down to it, he's someone that if I needed something, and not a lot of fighters could I be like, "Hey, I need this," and they would do it, even though they live with you under your roof. Just try to eat all your food, fucking run up your bills. They do all that shit. They wouldn't do shit for you, right? This dude, he would be like, "No, I got you, man. Don't worry. Like, we'll take care of it. Whatever." Like, it didn't matter if you needed something. He's like, "I can do it. Yeah, let's go. I'll help you with it." Yeah. He was one of the best training partners. He'd give you the shirt off his back. He'd give you rounds. After he'd done his whole workout, he'd give you rounds. He'd give you grappling rounds, sparring rounds. He'd work to you. If you were tired, he'd go ahead and let you piece him up a little bit. Give you some confidence. He was a great training partner. One of the best. So people don't give him enough credit, so I'll have to give him a little shout. Go to butcherbox.com/weighing-in and get 2 pounds of ground beef free for life and $10 off your first box.
100% agree. Okay.